Well, it's a Monday. 8 o'clock's right around the corner. Welcome in. And that means one thing on KCMO.
It's time for the good, the bad, and the ugly on KCMO Talk Radio.
Well, we have been obviously very critical of them and the on-field play and performance. But you know what? With the season over, you got to hand it to the Kansas City Royals, all right? The Royals are the good. And the good, the bad, and the ugly coming out of the weekend. Oh, my goodness. First off, Bobby Witt Jr. becomes the first player in Royals history to reach the 30-30 club on Friday night. That's 30 home runs and 30 stolen bases. First player in Royals history to ever do that. So he's in the 30-30 club. Mm-hmm. And then, as you noted, John, they had a good weekend against the Yankees, so they avoid the most losses in franchise history.
They did. We've had great players. Amos Otis could have done a 30-30, maybe Danny Tartabull or Carlos Beltran, but they did not.
They didn't.
Bobby Witt Jr.
And what a way to close the season. They sweep the Guardians. They sweep the Astros.
12 in September.
That's pretty good.
Plus 1-0 in October.
Although, wow. Yeah.
Two winning months right there back-to-back for the first time this year.
1-0 in October. Yeah. All right, we'll take it.
Yep.
Well, here's the problem, though. Royals are now going to ask for another $1 billion in taxpayer monies. After, hey, we went 14-12 in September. Can we get another $500 million out of you guys?
That asterisk is for the 1-0 in October.
Yeah.
We're about to start getting nostalgic next year with the 2014 stuff, 10-year anniversary. So maybe they'll get some goodwill there.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I mean, there's a lot that's going to happen between now and opening day next year.
They were looking like a dead certainty to hit that franchise record for most losses when we started September, but they managed to pull it off.
I think I had that in the buy-sell hold. Mm-hmm. I said that they were definitely going to break the record.
We figured within a couple of days of that buy-sell hold even.
Yeah, and they didn't. I mean,
they busted out like 10 out of 11 at one point. They'd won 10 out of 11 games.
Very impressive close to the season for the Royals. 56-106 is the record. So they don't break the franchise record for losses in a season, but dang, it was an ugly first few months. They rally late, and I was just curious. I went on StubHub yesterday. You could have gone to the game yesterday for $2. Now, the fees, by the way, were probably like still $22 or something stupid like that because it's such a scam. But either way, you could have seen the Royals get a victory as they wrap up the 2023 season. And now all the attention, of course, goes to what is ownership going to decide when it comes to North Kansas City versus downtown KCMO. But congratulations to the Royals. I never thought I'd say this. Congratulations on losing 106 games and not 107, which seemed like a certainty as of even a couple of weeks ago. So the bad out of the weekend, the media coverage of student loan payments starting again. So yesterday, of course, calendar flipped to October, and that means for the first time since pre-COVID, the federal student loan repayment program begins. And in classic BS media fashion, I mean, the way that they are spinning this is stunning. But then again, I shouldn't be stunned by anything they do. Here's the headline from NBC News yesterday. Student loan payments restart today, forcing borrowers to take on more debt and put off saving for retirement. Well, you know what I was thinking about? I was thinking about the fact that you could say that about anything. That's true about, mortgages, credit card bills, car payments. By NBC News' justification, every dollar that you spend on those things is putting off saving for retirement. Here's the ultimate thing that puts off saving for retirement. I was thinking about this to use NBC's model here about how paying back student loans that you willingly took out delays saving for retirement. How about this? The amount of money the government takes from you in sales tax dollars and income taxes and property taxes. How about those? How about we write that headline? This year, fill in the blank state, Missouri, Kansas, my federal government, Johnson County, Jackson County, Overland Park, Lee Summit, Kansas City, Missouri. They took so much money from me, it delayed me years on retirement. How about we talk about the Kansas City, Missouri earnings tax like that? Kansas City, Missouri earnings tax delays 500,000 residents from retirement. What a dumb headline from NBC News. Yes, you have to pay back loans that you willingly took out. That, by the way, sorry, we're not asking middle-class folks who don't have college degrees in many cases to pay back your student loan debt. Thankfully, the Supreme Court stepped up and did the right thing. So pay back the loans that you willingly took out. And if you want to have a real conversation on why the student loan business is in shambles and why people are in six figures in debt, well, let's have the conversation. But bailing out student loan debt doesn't do a damn thing for the person who just went to college and just took out a bunch of student loans and is just starting freshman year at fill-in-the-blank school, KU, K-State, Mizzou, wherever. It doesn't do a thing for them. So if you want to talk about how to decrease the cost of college, let's do it. Let's have the conversation. Let's make the colleges responsible. Let's have them and force them to have skin in the game when it comes to student loans. But instead, you get, hack opinion pieces like this masked as news from NBC. Student loan payment restarts today, forcing borrowers to take on more debt and putting off saving for retirement. Oh, if only the government paid back the student loan debts, people could save for retirement. Oh, please spare me. Spare me. The ugly out of the weekend. So last night, social media is blowing up with a couple of things. Chiefs, Taylor Swift, and Beyonce. And the Beyonce concert at Arrowhead, it was not blowing up because of, Beyonce was crushing it on stage. It was blowing up because Beyonce didn't go on stage until 10 o'clock last night at Arrowhead. Not her fault. She did the right thing. The problem was traffic. There are horror stories on social media, and people are telling these stories in my feed because I asked about it, of people waiting hours to get into the stadium. Between traffic, some folks had come in from out of town. There was one lady who told me on social media that she couldn't get an Uber. Like literally, she was willing to pay whatever to get an Uber to the stadium and couldn't do it. So eventually her hotel provided transportation because there were a lot of people who were at this hotel to then go to the Beyonce show. They provided transportation for $50 a head. But then even getting there was such a mess, it took over 2 hours. Some people said it took them 3 hours to get to the stadium. Why? Well, I don't know, but in part, the Royals, of course, played yesterday, and the gates didn't open for the concert until 5:30. And Beyonce was supposed to go on at 8 o'clock. She didn't go on until 10 p.m. last night because nobody could get to Arrowhead. That's a mess. So there's your good, your bad, and your ugly.